Welcome to The Breakdown, where we're breaking down marketing knowledge for auto repair shop owners like you.
Well, hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Breakdown, where we take complex topics and break them down in an easy to understand format, going old school with a whiteboard. Today, our topic is making great first impressions with your auto repair shop. Now, this is a topic that my wife is really passionate about. If you know Kim, and she was actually supposed to be the one who would be making this breakdown video, but she just had surgery to have a little skin cancer removed off of her nose. And, she's got a bandage, and she figured it might not be a good first impression for her to be making this video. So I'm stepping in for her today to talk about this topic that she's so passionate about. But I do have a really good understanding of this because she drugged me through it, and every time we visit a shop, she will tell me about the first impressions that she got from that shop. So the first place we're going to talk about is with your online presence, because we're talking about, your first impression, it could be one of so many different things depending on how somebody comes through, the whole marketing, all of the marketing channels into your shop. They might first see you on Facebook or first see you on a billboard, or they may have a breakdown and their first experience with you is when they walk into the shop for the first time. But we're going to start here with the online presence, okay? So your customers will very often Google your first. They will look for an auto repair shop near me, or if you're a specialty shop, something to do with your specialty. And the way that you come up is going to make an impression on them. Now, we have shops that we've been working with that have been doing marketing for years, that when somebody does a search, they will come up in the local service ads results, the map results. They will be the first or the first paid ad, and they'll be in the first few organic listings. Like, it could be their website is the number 1 organic listing, an interior page is the number 2 organic listing, and a social media page, like their Facebook page, for example, might be the 3rd or 4th listing in organic results. And that makes a heck of a first impression on somebody, because they almost have no choice but to let you be their shop. And that happens through really good marketing. So you want to know that all of your marketing is working really well to get you the best first impression that it can. And that's also going to mean things like not using stock photos, not doing generic content that, could be for any shop out there, but things that are actually going to build that know, like, trust factor with people who are landing somewhere on your online presence. And we've got down here, outdated equals lost customers, and that is so true. If somebody comes to your website and they see something that looks like it was built in 1994, then they are probably thinking, this shop is not up to date with my car, and they're just not going to come to you. So when things are outdated, when somebody goes to your Facebook page and you haven't posted in months, it's the same kind of thing. They think that you don't care about that. You're probably not the pick for them. Okay, so let's talk specifically about the website. Is it doing its job of converting customers? Are you answering the questions? What do you do? Why should they trust you? And what is the next step that they should take to get in touch with you? Be it pick up the phone and call, use the online scheduling form. You need to tell them exactly what it is that you want them to do. We were StoryBrand certified guides, and we believe very much in the StoryBrand methodology of creating content. And your website is a huge part of the StoryBrand framework. Well, they talk about the caveman test. Could a caveman look at it and grunt in understanding of, oh, this is what they do? So could a caveman at a glance look at your website and understand what's different about your shop? Why should someone bring their vehicle to you? All right, is the phone number visible everywhere? Are you using real photos of your real team in your real shop, working on real customers' cars? And then, are you highlighting the services that you do? And are you highlighting the reviews that people are leaving you? These are things that all need to be on your website to make that great first impression. All right, your Google business profile. Does it have the correct hours, address, and phone number? Is it, again, pictures of your real shop and your real team working on your real customers' cars? And then, are you responding to reviews? And how are you responding to reviews? Are you responding to them defensively, or are you responding to them in a way that you want to help people or to make things right? Because all of that matters on your Google business profile. Remember, your website might be their first experience with you. Your Google business profile might be their first experience with you. Or your social media might be their first experience with you. So, on social media, are you posting real experiences, like with the cars that are in the shop, with the customers that you are serving, like real things that are happening in your real shop with your real team and your real customers? A little bit of a theme there when it comes to your marketing. We want real, we want authentic, we don't want stock, we don't want generic. Are you showing behind the scenes? I like to talk about how when you're out in the shop and you hear somebody say, hey, come look at this, that is a great opportunity to get out your camera, just your phone, and go over and capture whatever's happening in the moment, because that's good behind the scenes footage. And then on social media, are you engaging with people when they comment on your post? When somebody is commenting on your post, even if it's negative, they're giving you a gift. They're giving you the gift of engagement, and you need to return that, the favor of the gift that they gave you by engaging back with them. All right, so that's your social media. Now, when we get over here to the phone calls, because this is the killer. We listen to phone calls constantly, and I mean, we listen to literally, no exaggeration, we listen to thousands of phone calls every month. This is the stuff that can kill sales. So, are people friendly? Are they answering with energy? At my shop, we used to say, thank you for calling Peak Automotive. This is Brian. I can help you. And that one little difference, I can help you. Not how can I help you, not can I help you, but I can help you. We're telling the person on the other end of that line that I can help you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to make your day better. And we're doing it with energy. Now, I'm not over the top, but there's still, times when I've called a shop and it's like, Bob's Automotive. And it's like they would rather be anywhere else than there. And that is going to kill new business, all right? You want to state the shop name and your name. This is another one that we hear all the time. I literally hear shop phones being answered, hello? The person on the other end of the line doesn't even know if they have called a business, much less, is it an auto repair shop? They're probably thinking they got the wrong number. So state the shop's name and your name. And then ask, I put ask, how can we help? I like telling people I can help you. It's so much of a better experience, and it's unexpected. People do not expect to hear that, and when they hear those words, I can help you, you just set the tone for that phone call. All right, we get down here to number 6, the parking lot test. Y'all, get the abandoned cars out of the parking lot. I'll never forget the day that me and one of my technicians, Joe, we went over to another shop in the area to help him with a problem car that he had. And we go over there and we're out back, and Joe looks around and he sees, it was a Mercedes specialty shop, he sees all these cars out there, and he looks at the guy and says, wow, so this is where they come to die. And I almost died myself when he said that, but he was stating the truth. Cars came there to die and never leave. You don't want that. You want a constant flow of cars in and out of your parking area. I understand that sometimes a shop is going to have that car that stays there longer than it should, but get it hidden somewhere. Don't let that be out in front of your shop, all right? Fix the signage. We have a scrap metal place, right about 4 miles that way. And the name of it is Florida Parishes. And there's a huge sign outside that says, Florida Parishes, we buy scrap. Well, the S fell off of that sign, and it stayed that way for a long time, and said, of course, Florida Parishes, we buy crap. And whereas that was still a true statement, it's not the statement that they wanted to make. When your sign is broken, fix it. When you've updated your logo, but you haven't updated the logo on the sign, make the investment. Get your sign up to date. If your sign is just faded, maybe there's nothing wrong with it except that it's faded and it doesn't look as good as it should. Spend the money, get your sign looking right, okay? And then clean the front entrance, clean the whole property, inside and out. You want to have a clean, professional looking facility. All right, the customer experience once they're inside. Do you have a clean and comfortable waiting room? I understand a lot of shops are going away from waiters and they don't provide a waiting room at all. But you got to at least provide a front counter and a bathroom. And those things should be clean, presentable. But in a perfect world, it's more than just clean and presentable. There's a wow factor to it. At my shop, our waiting area was like a high-end living room. But even still, one of the things that gives Kim the passion about this is that she was in our shop one day and a client who was a friend had their kid with them, and Kim went and sat down on the floor with the kid to play with them for a minute. And from the floor, she had a view under the television hutch, and she saw cobwebs under there. And she was mortified when she saw it because she wondered how many clients have seen that, and she hasn't. You tend to stand in the same place in your shop all the time. And you won't see things like this that your customers will see. You need to go into your waiting area, sit down as if you're them, get on the floor as if you're a kid, and what do you see from that vantage? What do you see from that viewpoint? And make sure that it's right. Greet every customer, free Wi-Fi. Honestly, I wouldn't have even put this on the board because that's just a given. Anywhere that you go now, there should be free Wi-Fi, especially if you're in an area where there's spotty cell service. But for your people who are waiting that are going to do some work on their computer, like that's just a given. You need to have free Wi-Fi. Okay, and you need to have Wi-Fi. Does anybody actually charge for Wi-Fi in 2025? I don't know. And then your team. How is your team representing the shop? What's the first impression that people have of your team? When someone meets someone at your team, are they getting a warm greeting? What about the appearance? Like, is everybody wearing uniforms? Are the uniforms kept up well? Do they have your newest logo on them? Are they all stained up? My service advisors, button-down shirt and a tie. It made an impression. But we were known as the Triangle's most female-friendly shop, and we had a reputation to uphold. You have a reputation to uphold also. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need button-down shirts and a tie, but a nice polo shirt at worst. I mean, I'm standing here wearing a t-shirt right now with my brand on it and our slogan. But, in a situation like an auto repair shop, you need to at least have nice, clean clothing that has your brand represented on it. And another thing, someone else, a coach taught me this because he always wore his hats that said win on them. He has a company called Win Rate. And he was speaking from stage one day and he said, you never wear somebody else's brand. Like if you're going to wear a brand, wear your own brand. You should be proud of your brand. You should wear your brand, not literally everywhere you go, but like everywhere you go, you should be wearing your brand. Wear your brand. Wear it proudly. And then clear communication. When someone says, we're going to get your car in and I'll be calling you early afternoon, and then they don't get that call, you just made a terrible first impression. You have to live up to your promises, and that's just part of communication. If you tell somebody that you're going to call them back at a certain time, even if you don't have the answers that you were hoping to give them, you call them back at that time and tell them, I don't have the answer yet. I'm going to call you again at this time. Clear communication. Your team, they're the face of your brand. Make sure that they represent it well. So first impressions equals long-term customers. Most of this stuff is very easy to do. It's just habit building. So go out there and make a great first impression and see how it impacts your business, because it will definitely make a positive impact on your business.